Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. All right, so I just recently did a live stream with a ton of the major YouTubers on crypto, and it was really informative. I'm gonna do a cut down version of more of what I contributed to the discussion, but there's tons of people on there. Go to Serpent X Tech's YouTube channel and subscribe to him because he's the one who organized this. There was 16 YouTubers on there all at the same time discussing the merge, discussing the future of crypto, all that other stuff. We've got Son of Attack, we've got Bitsby Trippin', we've got Red Panda Mining, he didn't say anything, but we have a ton of all the YouTubers that you guys love to watch all in one place, and it was a really informative conversation. So thanks to him for putting this together. I just did a couple of clips of some of the stuff that I added. Basically, we discussed, take your money out of the pools as soon as you can, what I'm doing after the merge, a little bit about the electrical and power issues that we're going through. That one got a little heated, and I made a few comments on that. And then also the POW shifting to PO, proof of stake. So anyway, stay tuned. Here's just a bunch of clips of the live stream. I hope you enjoyed it if you couldn't have joined live, but yeah, I said a couple of things that got a little bit heated, so that's what makes this whole thing fun. Anyways, thanks everyone who joined to that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little clip show. Peace.
Come on.
Custom computing, after the merge, what are we going to be mining?
I got about 2 gigahash that's being rented out to some guy in Toronto. So he said he's going to be doing, I think, whatever what mine says, which I'm like, okay, whatever, man, you do whatever you want to do. And then 1.7 gigahash of mine is going to be, I'm going to probably take it down actually for a month, let you guys fucking hash it out because like it's just going to be a gong show. Let you guys hash it out. I'll clean up all my cards and then I'll figure out what the next thing is. But I'm also building a Filecoin server. I do have a lot of chia, but I'm also going to be doing a Filecoin server because I think that's a cool project. And
You're Canadian, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we have.
I
like,
figured.
unlimited.
I figured.
Why? What did I say? Did I say A or something?
You said Filecoin, and yeah.
Chia and
That's all you had to say.
yeah.
All right.
That's all we need to message with you, I guess.
So next up is Mr. BBT, who's diversified his mining portfolio. What are you going to be focusing on, boss?
Well, I mean, most of our efforts right now have been around the Bitcoin side. As you guys have probably been tracking on just with our expansion with that. But on the GPU side, we're split between the top 3 right now, which I think are Ravencoin, Flux, and Ergo. ETC, I think, was going to be the big winner on this, but most of the ASICs are going to move over there. I don't have nor have purchased any ETC ASICs. We've had a few sent over from like Ipolo, but I mean, I didn't get into any of the jazz miners or anything like that, but I think that most of it just makes sense that all the silicon and all the ASICs are going to go over there. And price model wise, ETC needs to be over $300 to really start to allow GPUs on there. That's assuming 20 to 30% of the 871 terahash that's on Ethereum is ASIC. If it shifts over, it's going to just plummet it. We saw 186 terahash on Ethereum at $86 on March 20th of 2020, right? So it gave us a perspective of if you were a GPU miner, if you could mine. ETC makes a little more percentage because it's not at 2 coin per block, right? But I think the math is very simple on that because it's a lot like Ethereum. So would happily switch over to ETC if it can handle it. But that's going to be really those 3 that we're focused on the GPU side. But yeah, most of the efforts right now, at least through October, is getting the BTC farm up.
Nice. Look forward to the updates on the channel. Keep it coming. The hobbyist miner. What do we got for your coins after the merge?
Yeah, so I've always been big on diversifying. It's been the case for the last few years for me. So I'll be super heavy on Flux and Ergo. with BTC in there as well. I'm probably going to continue to build my wallets on Ravencoin, Neoxa, Litecoin, and Doge. I just think it's a smart move, just at least to continue to have those wallets growing. And then a lot of you guys have talked about ETC. I won't be touching ETC with my GPUs, but with my like efficient ASICs that a lot of the guys here have talked about, I'll continue to just let them run. It's a kind of a no-brainer there, but I will not be touching ETC at all with GPUs. I think it's going to be a shit show, to be honest with you. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Touché.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Blind Run, son of a tech. What are we going to be focusing on after the merge?
Caspa. That's it.
Caspa, baby. Caspa.
There we
Caspa,
go.
done.
Only Caspa.
All right.
Nothing else.
I'm still
All in.
I'm still on Feathercoin. Max Voltage. What are you going to be mining?
Well, the thought right now is, first of all, only mining at night when my power is low, like about 5 cents. But I'll probably be focused on Ergo and Flux. But bottom line is, we all don't know exactly what's going to happen. If everybody goes to Ergo and Flux, it's going to be wildly unprofitable. So we'll have to kind of take a look at that. And one thing I know I won't be doing is I will not be chasing my tail of constantly chasing whatever is on top on what to mine.
Whatever's the most
So
profitable.
it's a work in progress because we all don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Right. This is
Whatever
going to
is
be
the most.
I mean, from the sounds of it, what everybody's, mentioning, they're diversifying their portfolio, but many of you have spoken in the live chat and in the live stream, as well as some of the crypto content creators here, that Ergo and Flux seems like the top two coins they're going to be keeping an eye on. Obviously, things are going to have to pan out. There's going to be the first couple of weeks, probably months, before things start to happen. The network hash rate adjusts, the difficulty adjusts. Price discovery happens. There's going to be a lot of changes, and this is a big change to our world, which is why I wanted to bring this meeting together. And moving on to the next topic, because I have a lot of key points in my document that we didn't go over, but this is the most important because this is something that Mind Your Biz brought up and I've been thinking about highly, and that is after the Ethereum merge, there's going to be a significant amount, and I mentioned this before, there's going to be a significant amount of power being given back or being allotted back to the infrastructure for your country, state, wherever you're at. That's a lot of miners either turning off their rigs, which I do believe there's going to be a lot of GPUs that are going to flood the secondhand market. So if you're still hunting for a GPU, just be a little bit more patient. Not only are we going to have 4000 series, we're going to have AMD 7000 series, but we're also going to have a flood of second-gen GPUs. Or secondhand, excuse me, and then you'll be able to pick up some GPUs for relatively cheap if you wait till after the merge. But that power is something that we need to figure out, not as a country, but as a world. And so recently, we know in the beginning of this year, our president here in the U.S. Issued an executive order to do a report. They're bringing back some numbers. I linked it in the Zoom call. I'm going to link it in the live chat. We talked about it a little bit this morning on Caffeine and Crypto, but I wanted to talk about some of the power numbers. Seth told me during the Twitter Spaces meeting that I think we're estimated to be around 75 terawatt hours
That's about right. Yeah, it's about right. That's so. And I guess I'll show my work here, which is to say I copied somebody else's homework. So, so Eric Wall, right? He's an analyst he ran a fund for a while. So I broke our one rule. I trust that I didn't verify, but he managed a fund for a long time, and so I am gonna trust that that's the absolute state of things right now is about 75 terawatt hours.
75 terawatt hours, and I mean that's a decent number. But, while everybody's pointing the fingers at proof of work and mining being bad for the electrical grid and the greenhouse gases and yada, 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 they seem to just want to throw somebody in front of the bullet is what it feels like, unfortunately, because there's a lot of other sectors that are not eco-friendly, and the world needs to move towards eco or renewable resources, and not just one, right? We can't just put solar panels on everybody's fucking roof. We have to diversify that. Wind, water, or hydro, solar, nuclear, fusion. We're making advancements in all different aspects, but we do need to beef up not only the third world countries, but our own country here in North America to really stand up and handle the load we're going to put on it. because Bitcoin mining continues to grow. I have a feeling it will continue to grow, even though we're losing a lot of miners. Probably getting out of the game, selling their rigs, whatever, because they just built it for Ethereum. They don't care about any other coin.
Whoa.
Some, not all, some.
I just want to bump in here real quickly. Are we talking about 75 terawatt hour for Ethereum specifically, or the entire
mining
proof of work world? I see. I mean, because when Serpent was talking, he said for Ethereum specifically, I don't think we're anywhere near like even a terawatt.
I did a video on this where I compared, and Mind Your Biz will probably agree with me here because looks like he has some knowledge in it. The internet, okay, the internet is 10 times more power consuming than mining. If the narrative is really to make things greener, don't give me the BS about mining. I don't want to hear it. It's complete. I have a video on it. It's on my channel. If you guys want to watch it, go ahead. I give you the stats. I don't give you any BS. It's all BS. The U.S. military, okay, you waste 600 terawatt hours a year, okay, for nothing. It's wasted.
DJ's gonna rip on you for that comment.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. Me and DJ, and DJ will probably agree. But it's just like the argument for mining and the power usage is complete bogus. It's not true. I don't care what anybody says about it. We can have this debate. There's just they need a weapon to attack with, and that's the thing. They're going to get everybody who's a tree hugger. They're going to get them all together. They're going to sing Kumbaya. And they're going to attack proof of work mining.
I'm just going to chime in real quick. I'm going to shill really quick. So quick shilling on that note. So I've got a piece coming out in Crypto Magazine. The next issue of Crypto Magazine. It is literally titled "ESG is a Scam." You're welcome in advance.
Thank you.
So hold on, let me just do my 2 cents here.
Okay.
The movement of the entire world, and if you've ever gone overseas, and I know some people have not been overseas to different countries and different islands and whatnot, the environmental change and all the other shit that's going on with pollution and plastics and all this other stuff, it's the buzzword, and it is an issue. It's a fucking issue. And whether or not you choose to believe that we are adding to that is your own, you can look on the internet and find whatever solution you want for your, whatever argument you want, you can find on the internet. And you can find someone else who's going to agree with you, and you can find someone who's going to deny with you. But the fact is that we are generating a butt ton more energy than we were before the pandemic, before this huge Ethereum blow up and all this, everybody's mining from home. So there's a ton. They couldn't even build enough GPUs to handle the load because it was profitable to buy a GPU. So everyone was doing it. That's not
NVIDIA
a great
held
thing.
back. NVIDIA got caught.
Right. So they did, and you know what?
Holding back inventory to inflate numbers artificially.
But also, and the LHR stuff, and that was actually, if you in hindsight, I mean, yes, everyone was all pissed off about it, but reality, it did slow down some of the purchases, and it did slow down some of the actual quote unquote hash rate because everyone, it was profitable to buy any GPU. So, and all of that was going onto the electrical grids, all of that's going back into the air, unless your country, like Canada, has a ton of hydro and solar and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tote Canada's poll, but anyways, there's tons of places that are just pumping stuff into the air and we just don't want to see it. So it is a thing for crypto. And, we look at Chia and Serpent X, he does Chia. And that was one of his big things at the start of Chia. He's like, hey, you know what? If we can run the blockchain off hard drives and indexed hard drives basically, and it does the same speed of transactions, why would we have these GPUs that are going 100% pulling 200 watts when you have 10 hard drives that are doing 100 watts? But anyways, look, I know you said the internet thing. That's just
but I'm just saying, everybody.
I think the internet thing is totally irrelevant. The internet actually provides a service, and we're
but if there's a problem with power, you upgrade the power system. It's a failing 50-year-old system.
Son of a tech, please jump in here. Son of a tech,
failing infrastructure for 50-year-old systems. We need nuclear and better lines.
Brian, I
don't just add more power.
You have to upgrade the systems. The power grid in the United States has been unchanged since
for
right
50
around
years.
1947. Longer than that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Last time.
Let's slow it down.
God damn
Slow
it, Hawk.
down.
The last
Slow it
I
down.
can take you anywhere.
It's coming, baby.
Slow it
This was
down.
coming.
So,
This was coming.
guys,
Serpent, I was going to jump in on one thing that a lot of you guys probably saw was the comment, the tweet that Bitsby Trippin Carter had. I think it was yesterday. And I really love the avenue that he's going and the take he's going on the whole power thing. And it is the fact is like, we as miners are just consumers of, and a lot of you guys probably saw this and went on threads. And it's like, why do we need to be concerned about green energy? Why do we have to be concerned about, you know, the gases and such? It's like, for us at the end of the day, we're just a consumer. It's not up to us. Is anybody pointing fingers at our electric companies and how they're generating the electric and how they've updated? No
They
one
won't,
is.
because the entire argument,
exactly.
the entire environmental argument is only used by people in power to oppress those that are not in power. And that's the end of the story. And you don't need to go beyond that. We could argue all day about our impact on the environment. But the fact is it's the people who are in power that are affecting the environment. And it's your politicians, it's your government. That's who is. And the biggest impactors are usually the people that are telling you to turn off your shit while they're flying jets all over the place. So it doesn't make any sense.
And on top of that, if you guys have seen the headlines just today, if you guys read the headlines on Google News or whatever, your government in the United States has actually brought on some new headlines.
It's not gonna
read them.
So hang on, guys. So the power issue is not an issue that we can solve alone. It's an issue.
It's not
that
a power issue.
Well, we could get power. The problem is we need to get cleaner power. Period. We need to.
Well, there's a study by Coinbase.
Buddy, hold on a second.
But the cleaner power is not our fault.
No, it's not. It's the infrastructure.
Wait a minute.
And so government needs to update the infrastructure. But the reason I said this and the reason this got so heated is because I want you as a miner, the at-home miner, to understand and pay attention to your local politicians, your local state official, your legislation, and be aware of the decisions they're making. Because the decisions they're making impact all of you. And if you're not paying attention to these little nuances, then they'll just do whatever because homeboy's greasing their pockets. Big oil, right? All the power companies, JEA, my company, my electric company has been caught with corruption. Like these guys get paid, you know, they paid politicians and legislators to vote in the way that they want. So that way they can continue to collect money from us. But we got enterprises from small to mid-scale miners making good decisions and making sure they're powering their fucking rigs with renewable resources. All right. If you didn't tap into the methane that was leaching out in Texas, it would just continue to spill into the atmosphere. So we got people going out there, tapping into it, turning it into power, and then mining with it. What is wrong with that? Well, it still produces greenhouse gases. I understand that. But at least that's a more useful way of dealing with the problem or trying to address the problem.
It drops the greenhouse gases. Actually, that stuff going just venting is just worse. 8 times worse than burning it because you're changing form on there. So I mean, chemically, it's better to just kind of you already released the gas pocket. Now what?
Right. Yeah, if you want to use the ecological science of global warming, if you want to continue, and I'll take that side of the debate, custom computing. I will. Let me get on your side of this debate real quick, because I think broadly speaking, you're the only person who's taking that side. So really quickly, to do the least harm right now, like what Nemesis is saying, it does fulfill your requirements to do less harm. Just off-gassing of methane directly into the environment is more harmful. And so if we do want to decrease the harm, we can either just do gas flaring, which is literally just burning it for no purpose, and we do less harm to the environment, or we can attach an on-site Jenny and we can make it do something useful, even like marginally useful, like mining. And we actually improve the environment measurably. And I mean, it's not. Here's some numbers. Let me keep the receipt on this stuff. Here's some numbers real quick. We got over 100 billion. Get this, not cubic centimeters per year. We got over 100 billion cubic meters of this stuff being spewed into the atmosphere per year.
Right.
We could save the environment. Literally, we could save the trees.
And methane's way worse than CO2.
I'll go one step further, and I'll even go on the custom computing side of the argument too. It's like, instead of looking at the cause of the burnt fuel, right? What caused it? Fracking. Why are we still paying for fracking if that is causing damage in the long run too? Oklahoma gets earthquakes. It's freaking landlocked. It gets earthquakes because of fracking.
Yeah.
They have a lot of oil. They have a lot of flaring out there too. That's wasted energy now. It's like we're not hitting the root cause of the problem.
Exactly. No, and you're right.
And I'll agree with you on that too.
Absolutely.
It's funny.
And
It's funny because
that's kind of where Serpendex has kind of like said, like, you have to look at your politicians. You have to look at where they're going with their policies.
Exactly.
And whatnot, because are they attacking the actual root cause of the entire pollution issue? Most of them are, because they're all
if you look
money.
at the headlines,
right?
Exactly. If you look at the headlines just today and yesterday and today, look at them.
Well, I know.
They're attacking.
But I think anyway. So I'm not
miners.
Look,
They're attacking
I have
miners.
5 gigahash in my basement.
Right before the ETH merge.
I am not holier than thou. I've been mining 5 gigahash for the last 2 years. Like I'm just as at fault for everything.
The article that you read, the article that you read is terrible. It's a
articles.
It's all BS. They're trying to guess what was said in there.
I understand that. I'm just telling you.
Just to wrap up this conversation, guys, so we don't continue on.
Continue on, please.
No, this is a problem that needs to be addressed, but we right now cannot address it. You, me, and everybody in here cannot address it. Right? The only way we can address it is by properly educating our leadership, or obtain a position in leadership and help change the direction. You're going to have a hard time doing that because politics is right now, but I hate politics. The point being is the White House officially released. They're getting information about this. They're learning more, and they're getting advised that if they can't make it more renewable or cleaner, then they should ban mining. Now, I doubt that would happen, but that is a concern that everybody, mining at home or not, should pay attention to. And again, participate in your local legislation, government, politicians, whatever, and make sure that they're getting properly educated. Because while you talking to them in one ear, somebody else is putting money in their pocket and on the other side. So pay attention, because blockchain technology as a whole isn't going anywhere, in my opinion, and it has some great benefits for the world to utilize. So don't let them use this argument as the reason why mining should be stopped in the first place. But moving on.
Mind your biz. Actually, that's a very good comment. I wanted, and this was one of the talking points that we were supposed to get to, which we haven't gotten to yet, but this has been great conversation. Proof of work versus proof of stake for Ethereum, and whether or not that is going to be a positive for a cryptocurrency, DeFi / whatever, and also if it's going to be centralization, right? So my tinfoil hat thinks that the CRA, actually that's the Canadian Revenue, sorry, the same thing in the US, is waiting for Ethereum to go proof of stake, and then they're going to fucking hit them just like they did with XRP. As soon as they go proof of stake and they are one single entity and they can be attacked, they're just gonna fucking throw the book at them and be like, okay, you're shut down. Right?
Yeah,
like, that's
hey,
my
custom
tinfoil
computer.
hat theory.
Yeah. So just a
think?
little FYI. I mean, it's not common knowledge, but Barbados does not have extradition with Canada. Just FYI, in case you were looking at a place to go.
I lived in Barbados. I actually went to school there, to be honest. Yeah.
It's a great spot, right, for Canadians for that reason.
It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Speaking of proof of stake, you know, that was a big conversation at Twitter Spaces, and I've been taking 2 hours of your time, guys, and I apologize and I appreciate your patience. You know, proof of stake is very centralized in nature. Is that still true, Blind Run? Are we still looking at a very centralized?
We're looking at currently like somewhere, I believe it's 40% on AWS right now, 41%. Now 19% is on Hetzner, which already outlawed them. Well, you know, put it against their terms of service.
Yeah.
So that's another about 20% that's probably going to move over from there to AWS, which will put AWS in control of over 50%. And then, yeah, so as we've seen in the past with AWS and the way they function, they can pretty much, you know, if if the US government decides they don't like something or they want something censored, AWS has been more than willing to shut stuff down for them. So being centralized on AWS, where we potentially have over 50% of the consensus on a single entity like that, does mean that it is susceptible to specifically the US government now, which I think from a worldwide perspective, you know, if I was a citizen of a different country or something along those lines, I would be worried about that.
Tornado Cash. What?
Well, that's where the switching comes in that they're talking about. So
that could affect a lot of pools.
Ask Crypto Mikkel about switches
or nodes or nodes.
But so, yes, it's inherently centralized on AWS right now.
And so, I mean, we're going proof of stake. That's happening, right? So Ethereum
well,
is no
ETH is.
Well, yeah, ETH is. ETH is.
We're just talking about ETH.
Yeah, that's what the name of the meeting is.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying.
But I mean, this is happening.
I'm not though.
There's going to be some changes.
Well, okay. I'm sorry, Serpent. Let Blind Run finish the story. Let's say, right? There's a lot of nodes. There's a lot of pool operations running on Hetzner or OVH. What and whatnot. What's that jurisdiction on that? Other than ETH.
The jurisdiction on AWS?
No, on Hetzner having to comply with what you just said about Ethereum nodes running on Hetzner or
Hetzner doesn't want to deal with the regulation of the financial system, trying to censor out transactions because. And I think by them, there's a regular because like I briefly looked into the whole Hetzner thing, and it looks like they somewhere about German law is that they become liable,
right,
potentially for a bad transaction, and they were like, I don't even want to deal, even if that's not how it's going to work out. I don't even want to get in. They're like, I don't even want to get started in this one. No. So they were like,
yeah,
they just X'd out the whole thing. And that to them as a business move, probably the smartest thing they could possibly do.
Right. Yeah, they should have done that.
It's a pull motion between the service providers and the ETH core devs themselves. I think Vitalik was the one that said that any infrastructure providers that are complicit in censorship will get slashed. Was it Vitalik or was it?
It was Vitalik.
Right?
I think it was Vitalik. I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, like he's also said some stuff that he hasn't followed through on, right? Like, no hack, right? Like,
that's a pretty
this is the chain that's rolled back, right?
That's like, if 51% of the mining thing is on one place like Amazon, then he's not going to be like, okay, you guys are done. Like, no, he can't do that. So
that would be really scary.
I mean, it's definitely a little bit scary.
Well, the
question was, is it going to be better or worse for Ethereum? Are we going up? Is this going to be a thing that we're going to see going up in the future, or is this going to crash?
Well, let's technically correct that real quick, though, so that people understand. They would be slashing the nodes that are running on AWS, and the people that are running the nodes on AWS could potentially move their nodes off of AWS, thereby avoiding the slashing. So it could still be done, right? Like you could still do the slashing to influence the node operators to move off of AWS.
And go where?
Yeah. So totally. Setting the record straight there. Yeah. They're not slashing the entire platform. They're slashing the node operators specifically. But the issue with that is if it's brought out to its logical conclusion, the game theory goes that if there's a broad sweeping policy at that service provider, like it is with Hetzner right now, if there's a broad sweeping policy that affects every node operator, well, Vitalik has said, we'll slash all those node operators. That means that if they're going to stay true to their word, they'll slash everybody on that platform. I don't think they have the guts to do that. I think you're right. I think when it comes to a game of chicken between the ETH core devs and these large infrastructure providers, and then the U.S. government, more like a Mexican standoff, I guess. Like they're gonna stand down. They're not going to do it. They're not going to stand for censorship resistance.
If what custom computing said happens,
it only takes one,
SEC cracks
and then
down
the
on
others
it,
follow.
then it will be
That's
sketchy.
all I'm saying.
And they've already got some things in there with the money transmitter and mining and doing validations that hasn't had any other clarification. That it's like the regulations that's already in play might be bad for Ethereum, even on, you know, they're not going to be able to hide on AWS, I don't think.
No.
Well, no, of course not. Not from the government. The government sees all. The eye in the sky.
Right.
So
the government
Ship
has
everything to Barbados
servers
is
and
what
like
we're saying.
Microsoft, AWS, like you know what I mean. Like
so
they have servers there. Like of course they're gonna comply.
Yeah.
Right.
So is
and
proof of
the
stake-
laws are, but all the laws are already there to be that would force compliance to make them a money transmitter, which means they'd have to be able to do the AML. They have to, and what data center is going to want to deal with that?
Maybe a new class. It might give the cottage industry a fighting chance.
Yes,
at becoming
and I'll give you
additional
that.
entrant.
So
if somebody wants to do it, go for it.
With everything that we heard,
for example,
is proof of stake a positive move long term for Ethereum? I'm going to speak on this real quick because I want to wrap up this live stream. I think it's a positive move because if they continue to delay proof of work, it would continue to degrade the public's confidence in the overall ecosystem of Ethereum. It's an unfortunate move that they're moving from proof of work to proof of stake, but I think it is a positive move for Ethereum long term. Now, I'm not saying it's going to like pump, you know, after the merge. You know, that might be a little buy the rumor, sell the news type situation, but it is a positive move for Ethereum to switch to proof of stake. How it's going to, you know, react long term is yet to be determined, but I do think it's a positive move.
Okay, guys, so this is already 30 minutes long. If you want to watch the whole thing, I'll put a link of it in the description. And we go through a whole bunch of different other topics, and we've got quite heated at certain points. You can tell the different mentalities and perceptions from the different locations of the miners and YouTubers. It was really fun to do. Let me know if you guys want more live streams. I can start doing interviews with other miners directly, and we can have a Q&A session live or what have you. So hope you enjoyed this little bit. If you want to watch the whole thing, it'll be here and also in the description. And stay tuned. I've got a couple of chia, and I'm gonna try to make a Filecoin server, but the hardware is like insane to get started on that. So whatever, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks again for stopping by. Subscribe, smash that like, and keep mining.